One of the topics that I didn't really hit on, and this is an issue I care about a great deal, but to some degree it's the balance with which I hold all of the other activist positions that I have. That of respecting the beliefs. I generally call it philosophical, but it's also religious. And in this case, they are not quite interchangeable, but close to it, because philosophical is the concept that beyond the concept of atheist versus theist and different religions as are officially organized, or in some cases non-officially organized, there is the construct that it's not just in the case of those of us who follow organized religion, the religions themselves, and indeed with most people this is really the case. It's not the religion, it's not the official even organizational structure of the religion. It sure as heck isn't the text of the religion. But it is the philosophical overall standpoint of the person that determines what they're actually going to do. And it also is what makes it difficult to peg down people. And to be honest, that's a frustrating thing for me, because on the one hand, I kind of love it. I don't like the idea that people can be just so simply just put into one spot. But on the other hand, it makes it a lot more complex and to handle, and it makes things take a lot longer because you need to get into the depth in order to get anywhere. But especially with regards to religions, you get into the realm of, at times people will say, well, that's not a real blank, with the blank being their specific religion. They just call themselves that. And to me, I don't buy that one for a second. I think there are people that follow the texts and the doctrinal rules of every faith that is labeled and un, that are both good and evil, that are both good and bad, that are everything in between, and that, yes, whatever they are, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist, Taoist, atheist, Wiccan, pagan, whomever, whatever religion they are, that, yeah, they could very well be absolutely angelic. They could be perfect, or as close to perfection as a human being could get in terms of doing good works, or they could be someone that is a serial killer of innocent children. They could still follow the same amount of doctrinal texts and doctrine of the same exact religion, and they could both exist. I truly believe that, which is why while I might to some degree judge someone in the sense of, when I deal with work, who it's going to be the most simple to figure out in terms of Saturday Sabbath observance, as I do in terms of not working, which person is going to be working on that day and which person isn't, which is to say, I know that an Orthodox Jew is not going to, if they actually follow Orthodox Judaism, they're not going to be working, and they're on a Saturday and trying to call me up saying, where are you? I'm at work. Especially in an office job, that's not going to happen. But I can't judge their morality in any way, shape, or form by if they're the same faith as me or if they're a different faith as me, because that won't work. One is the doctrinal, the actual rules that determine, are they of that, and the other one is truer morality. So I've seen both, and I've seen all. And my thing is, whatever you are, respect the others. Which is to say that, especially one of the things I truly loved about one of my former paid official job was the fact that most of the rest of the people there were is kind of normal, because most of this country, they were Christian. I'm Jewish, so whenever the place was that we had was open on 7 days a week, I would always enjoy pulling a double or a triple shift, working all day on Sundays, so that the Christian workers could go to church, or whatever else, in terms of visiting sick family or whatever else they had to do, whereas I was free by that, in turn, that trade, more moral driven, to go to synagogue, or to rest when physically, with my medical issues, I could move on a Saturday and recuperate spiritually, medically, and I think that that's one of the ways that really diversity is wonderful to have in this country, in this world, because it allows us to really help one another in that regard, morally, ethically, and that's something that really needs to be at times worked on to create a more universal fixture of that. Is the concept that conversion either way, it's not a good thing. Again, we need to work together. And philosophical also encompasses the construct of the fact that ethical beliefs are just as important to many of us as religious ones are. But again, it's a balancing act for someone that really does care. And this is another hard feature of the fact that that when you are really, truly socially conscious, you're going to pay for it. And I don't mean the concept of, money or whatever, but you have to understand that with being conscious, it doesn't mean that you're going to, or knowing more, you're not necessarily going to find it easier. If anything, to some degree, you're going to find it harder. I still, though, do encourage you to continue on this journey, to learn more, to explore more. And while I always, tell folks, don't ask me to adhere to a label, or to accept a label that you falsely, that you're putting onto me. If you want me to use a label with you, let me know and I will. To some degree, I almost view it as like the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not impose one's beliefs upon another party, one views. Thou shalt not impose. And that's probably one of the most complex things around. But it's one that I always strive for, is the don't impose. But I will again ask that people not impose, and yeah, I'm sure that times come back as ordinary. But it's also a matter of respect. So I'm going to continue to probably tonight and tomorrow make some more topic videos, especially because there's a storm system coming in, so my joints are going to, and they already have started to really increase in pain and decrease in mobility. So, well, physically I can't move, so I'm not going to be able to go and do more errands. Instead, I'll be talking more to you folks here and putting up some more videos, because there's a lot of topics to cover. Shalom.